Healthcare is a diverse and busy industry, and today we're talking all things allied health. That's essentially jobs that aren't a doctor, a nurse, or a dentist. It could be physiotherapy, it could be nutrition and dietetic practice, or maybe occupational therapy. To do so, we've left our main campus just up the road. We've come here to our secondary campus, the Bond Institute of Health and Sport. We're going to go inside, have a bit of a tour, meet some people who are studying within the realm of allied health. Well, here we are first up in the OT space, and I'm joined by Nicole Colo. Nicole, you're studying occupational therapy. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? What is occupational therapy? What do you have to do?
Essentially, it's what we do is we help people to engage in the activities that they need to, want to, or are expected to do. And that looks very different depending on which practice setting we're in.
Where do we find occupational therapists? Where do you work?
Kind of everywhere, and so I think that adds to the confusion, but so for example, rehab spaces, so we work in hospital, we work in people's homes, pediatrics to aged care. It's a very broad spectrum, so yeah.
As you've been studying to become an OT, what sort of skills have helped you out during your journey here at Bond?
So I guess the biggest thing for me personally has been just that self-management. So just trying to be organized, be really disciplined with deadlines, and just sort of trying to know when I'm taking on too much and be a bit reflective in that sense as well.
Fantastic. Nicole, thanks so much for joining us today. Now we're going to whip around. We're going to find Lachlan Connors, who's studying nutrition and dietetic practice. Let's check in with him. Well, we're here with Lachlan. Lachlan, first up, nutrition, dietetic practice. What is it? What does it cover?
Yeah, right. So nutrition and dietetics is basically the study of food, but we look at it from a chemistry and biochemistry point of view. So we use it for health and for well-being.
Now, the nutrition and dietetic practice programs, it's all about real-world experience. What sort of placements and internships have you got lined up?
So we got a couple of placements coming up where we go regionally. There'll be people going up to Mackay, Early Beach, the Whit Sundays, all the way out to Mount Isa, Serena. When you're not doing the regional placement, you go to your urban, so you can get your Metro North, your Metro South here on the Gold Coast. On top of that, we get business practice, where we go to a private practice sort of place, or we can work in sports nutrition. It's really whatever you want to do. You talk to your supervisor and try and get a placement there.
And what is it about studying here at Bond that really sets it apart?
Oh, definitely the ability to talk with our lecturers to set up sort of relationships with people who want to go into business with the future. So myself, I want to go into sports nutrition, so I'll be talking with my lecturer to try and get some internships or placements into the private practice sort of area. I know a lot of people who are trying to get regional placements because they want to work regionally. So there's a lot of opportunity to work with our lecturers to get sort of the result we want now and into our long term for our career.
Finally, mate, I just had a string bean. Is it true what they say? You are what you eat?
Yeah, no, it's definitely true. If you want to fuel a Ferrari, you fuel it with the best. Otherwise, if you fuel it with junk, you're going to get a junk performance. So.
Okay, one Ferrari full of string beans. Thanks very much for joining us today.
No
Next up, we're going to whip upstairs and check in with Doctor of Physiotherapy student, Zach. So Zach, most of us will have seen a physio at least once in our life. What made you want to become a physiotherapist?
So what really interested me about this career path was the ability to be on my feet, working with people and really interacting with people throughout the community, different walks of life, and not being stuck at a desk all day. Being able to really make an impact and change on somebody's life was something that really struck like a chord with me when choosing a career path. And I found that physiotherapy was just a great opportunity to do this.
Bond's degree here has the most clinical placement hours of any university in Australia. What sort of experiences have you had personally?
So currently right now I'm working with the Bond rugby team with my clinical placement.
Yep.
And that's been a great opportunity to really get in with the sports team and see what a sports physiotherapist does and being able to get that experience, because that's something I'm really interested in. However, I have 3 upcoming placements, one up in Brisbane, doing just orthopedic patient care, another one over to Perth. I get to travel over there for 5 weeks doing a placement in a hospital setting, working with cardiorespiratory patients, and then another one just right here in the Gold Coast at a private practice, which I'm really excited about.
Cool. Zach, you did your undergrad over in the States. Aside from maybe a little bit less Dr. Pepper and pickup trucks over here, how does it compare between studying over there and being here on the Gold Coast in Australia?
Yeah, so main difference I found is this is a lot more streamlined over here. 2-year degree compared to 3 years over in the States. Another thing I found is where I went to university, you're not right on the beach in the beautiful sunshine, hanging out in just probably one of the nicest places in the whole world, in my opinion, I think. So that's been a plus in my eyes, along with just being able to have a high staff to student ratio going on over here has been really nice, and I really enjoy being able to create a connection with the professors, and I think that's been really beneficial in this process.
And these facilities, as well, as we can see today, are fantastic. How have they been helpful for you as you've been going through the degree?
Yeah, I've found them super helpful. It really just prepares you for the workforce. There's just a lot of resources that are in this building and facility that we can't find anywhere else, I think, of this high quality stuff. Such as the sports performance gym downstairs. We've been able to have a couple classes down there really working through techniques that you would go work with patients out in the real world, along with having live simulations, bringing in patients, actors who act as patients, and they use all the equipment to simulate what it would be like in a hospital setting without actually being in the hospital, which I find super beneficial and will really prepare me for the future when I go into my first placement in that setting.
Sure. Zach, thanks very much. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course.
Cheers. Well, there we go. Such a good snapshot of what goes on inside behind me here at the Bond Institute of Health and Sport. Programs like physiotherapy, occupational therapy, nutrition and dietetic practice. Of course, if you want to find out any more about this, just hop onto the website. There is plenty more on-demand content for you.